Hi everyone, and welcome to this Q&A session for the short film program called Speak Your Mind, that is part of the 31st edition of Nordisk Panorama Film Festival. The films in this program are not only eligible for the Best Nordic Short Film, but also for the Audience Award, so please don't forget to vote for your favourite film after the session. So usually we would do this Q&A in a cinema, and we're very sorry that we can't be here in person, but I would like to say a big thank you to all the filmmakers who have kindly agreed to join us online today. So today I will be talking to Mattis Goksøyr, Director of Good Luck. Hi Mattis. Lisa Östberg, Director of War in Academia. Hi Lisa. Marin, Håskjold, Director of What is a Woman? And Jussi, Sandhu and Ville, Hakonen, Director of Best Possible Life. So we'll start straight with a question addressed to all of you, my general question to start the Q&A, and that is, what was the starting point of the project and what triggered the idea for your film? So maybe we can hear from Ville and Jussi, whose film, Best Possible Life, combines video and audio footage of Finnish people celebrating and talking about, well, happiness. Is Finland really the happiest country in the world?
Thanks. The starting point, I guess it was last spring as Finland won the World Championship for hockey.
Yeah.
And people usually go apeshit over it in Finland whenever that happens. This was like the third time. And since people headed to the market square and jumped into the pool, Ville decided to go get his camera, and then the next day he showed the footage to me, and we were like, okay, there's something in this.
So at what point did this UN report that declared Finland was the happiest country in the world, was it not here from the start then? Did you add it later to your film?
Yeah, I guess we talked a lot about what we see in the footage, like how we never see things in that light, such direct happiness expressed. And I guess that's when we started talking about the UN report, how it's always brought up, and Finnish people usually like to downplay it. That can't be true. We cannot really be the happiest country on earth. And sort of start to look into that contrast between the statistics and how people express their happiness here.
Yeah, and we were thinking this like thing when people go apeshit in the marketplace, that only happens when we win the ice hockey tournament. That didn't happen when we were announced as the happiest country in the world. So we were thinking, why is this happening? And the only thing I can remember when we won the Eurovision contest,
yeah,
when people came to the marketplace also, but that's gonna never happen again. So
yes, and when that one Finnish film won in Cannes, nobody got to the marketplace, so it's very selective.
Yeah,
Hockey and Eurovision are the recipe for happiness then.
Yes.
That's good to know. Lisa, your film takes place in the university. It's a kind of mutiny. Students rebelling against their lecturers. It's called War in Academia, so everything is in the title. Can you tell us how it started? Because I think it's based on real events.
Yes, it was a classroom situation that I was part of. So it's very clear where the idea came from. And I was interested in reenactments and deriving material from the real. Also something I studied in my master's. So yeah, I sort of used the tools that I was interested in at the moment while also making this film. Although I sort of did it separately from the school, since it became like a sort of a little bit, yes, it could have been interpreted as a critique. Should I have done it directly within the master's education? And I sort of wanted it to be a separate art piece. But yeah, so I just wrote the events down first, and then I turned it into a script.
Is it very close to what happened, or is there a lot of fiction in the final script?
It's both. Some things are exactly as it was said by the person who said it, and some things are complete fiction. And I sort of, I don't know, refuse to say where the quotations marks are for the project. So yeah, I leave it at that.
Okay. Thank you very much. Mattis, your film is called Good Luck. It's a one-night stand with a twist, if I can say. Can you tell us how the idea came about?
It's a long time ago, but I think it's about, it's like last year, there's have been a lot of focus on this subject with like the Me Too movement and everything, and I wanted to try to like dig a little bit deeper and see two characters trying to figure out what really happened on the one night stand where the girl doesn't remember and he tries to explain himself, and the misunderstandings that can lead into serious
consequences.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. So yes, there's a potential rape going on, but they try to solve it inside their own apartment, and yes, I just want to dig deep and see and try to write out.
You say the idea was, you've had this idea a long time ago. Was it before the Me Too movement appeared, or was it alongside?
More like a consequence of it. It's when was the Me Too movement? Back in 2018.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
so it's been lying there like I want to make something on the subject, but I didn't know what. And then we had a discussion, I think it was with some friends, and I want to just try to write out a film that was nuanced enough to make even the audience like I want the audience to go out with a feeling with a conflict for themselves, like what happened, they don't know, who will they support in this, because there's always like picking a side, who are you backing up, if you can say it in that way.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much. Marin, your film What is a Woman is also very topical. It takes place in a swimming pool changing room, and women are debating whether a trans woman who's here has the right to be here. And it's a very interesting conversation with lots of points of views expressed. So how did it all start?
It started when it was I think in 2017 or 18 that here in Norway they changed the law for how you can the sex change law in a way. Mm-hmm. Like if you're a biological woman, and you can change your passport. And then the discussion this discussion got really heated, and I got inspired by the comments in like Facebook groups, like feminist Facebook groups, and in other media, because they were really interesting in a way, because it was not really about trans rights, but more about existential questions around how can you define gender, and how is it affecting me as a person and stuff like that. So that was what interested me the most with the film.
Your film, as I said, expresses a lot of points of views, but it never sounds didactic. It sounds very, it rings very true, even if, of course, you can't agree with all of the opinions expressed, and it relies a lot on the performances. So I wanted to ask you, and Elisa as well, because both your films have this documentary quality to them, how you worked with the cast. Maybe starting with you, Marin.
I think I casted people that were interested in the team, and I actually used a lot work with their how they wanted to be in the discussion, and some of them are really close to the characters, but also we use a lot of time figuring out who they were, what kind of childhood did they have, how is their status in every ways, and also like the transgender character is played by a transgender actor. And that was really important for me because that's a really interesting point of view in this discussion. Because I also saw in the comments on Facebook and others that it was not really that much space for the transgender people from the transgender community to be a part of it because it was so many voices. So I wanted her to be like that in person.
What about you, Lisa? You said some actors are actually reenacting their role in real life. So how do you do that? How did you work?
Yes, some actors were students of the actual education where the things took place for the first. They had a really cross-temporal experience filming the thing. We were also in the room where the events took place. But some are actors, and I chose actors who had experience from the art field, the performing arts field. And so they knew what the conversation was about and had been in like similar experience and had the work experience from being on stage. But I also did it in quite long takes. So I let them play out a full scene with the 2 cameras. So they had the ability to react more natural on the comments, etc. I didn't improvise, but there was this feeling of real time while filming.
Thank you. Mattis, there is a real ambivalence in your film, and as you said, the main character, we don't really know what to believe, and there's it has to be very nuanced. So how did you pick him and her, and how did you work on these awkward scenes? Because some moments can make the viewer feel quite uncomfortable.
Good question. We had as with all short films, there's not too much budget, we don't have too much time, and we didn't have I wish we had more time to discuss this also, or that I could discuss it more with actors before we actually filmed the short film. At some points during the shooting day, the shooting weekend actually, we needed to stop and discuss some scenes because since the film and the script is so nuanced, it was difficult for both actors to try to they want to know and understand who is to blame and who is not to blame. But I wanted the film to be so nuanced that their confusion is, I wanted them to be confused because as the characters as well are so confused, and they don't even I don't believe the lead role that he actually know if he raped her or not himself. By law, I think he did, but I don't know if I'm pretty sure it wasn't intentionally, but since it's so nuanced, I wanted it to be like a discussion between. I wanted it to be more like chaotic in their head, if you understand what I mean. Yeah.
Well, you can tell he knows what's right and what's wrong, but in a way it seems like he wants to be respectful, but he worries more about being respectable than respectful. In a way, he worries more about his reputation than maybe the consequences of his actions.
Yeah, exactly. And I also wanted to try to have fun. I want to have a bit fun with a serious subject with the two bystanders that are also in the room, and that they are starting to involving themselves into the conflict. That is not about them, but they in a way make it about them. And I want the audience also to try to make them forget the girl, and everything is about the girl, but I want everyone to forget the girl, because I think that sometimes we do that also in real life. And so yeah.
Thank you. Humor is actually something that runs through several of the films, maybe less so in What is a Woman, but in the three other films for sure. Going back to Best Possible Life, the humor comes from the editing, the contrast between what you see and what you hear. I wanted to know where the footage came from. Did you film all of it? And the audio, where did you take it from? Was it a radio show, or did you go and record voices?
All of the footage was shot last summer all around Finland. We did like several road trips to places where we thought people might be happy. And I guess we ended up using most of them. It was really fun. Yeah. So we did traveling for 2 years. Now we didn't have to travel this year. And most of the audio footage is from this Finnish radio show that's called like the People's Radio, where anyone can call and speak their mind, and mostly it's like pensioners and elderly people, but I think most of the stuff came from that.
Yeah. And some interviews in there while we were shooting with people.
There is a real journey in your film, because it starts quite funny, and as we go along it sounds a bit more menacing, a bit more disturbing. So how did you handle this? Because you really go through different phases.
I think that was kind of integrated in the first shooting that Ville did, because the party of the ice hockey thing was like, at first it was really fun, then at one point it seems like, okay, this party has gone on way too long, and then you start finding these melancholic tones of having fun. And I guess they ended up in a kind of a synthesis at the end of it. But yeah, I think that kind of dictated the whole journey of the film for us.
All of these, sorry.
Yeah, and the response to the film has been also like really interesting, because some people find it really like this feel-good film, but some people find it really depressing. So I don't know. It's a strange one.
It mirrors the subject. What is happiness? So it's a perfect fit. All of these films have dialogues, conversations at the center of them in different ways. I wanted to ask you all again, was it a big challenge to make these films that staged conversation? Because all these films are very dynamic and captivating, but of course filming people talking could be very static. So Marin, can you tell us how you worked with this element?
Yes. I work mainly just with the improvisation. So as a start, I write short dialogues as a starting point, and then I want the actors to go with it further. And so I also have a lot of footage in a way, but so it's in the edit that the dynamic, or like the story comes up. So there's a lot of things that we have improvised that are not here, but
it sounds very fluid. Well, very well done.
Yeah.
You can't tell that there's so much that didn't make the cut.
Yeah, but I knew what I wanted as a starting point, and I knew what I wanted as in the end. But also that was the hardest things, editing, because in the middle you have this all these voices coming in and coming out, and it was really, really fun. But also in the start of the film, how do you want the viewer to like see the cast in the start or the characters, and also the ending, because you know you don't want to like tell the audience how to feel or what, but you want to like show them something, or yeah, what are something.
Well, there would be many more questions to ask, but 20 minutes go so fast. So I just wanted to ask you if you were working on any project at the moment. Maybe Marin, we can start with you. Is there anything you're working on, writing or filming? Or?
Yeah, right now I'm working on a music video for a band called Pompoko that is going to be finished in October. So yeah.
Great. Ville and Jussi, what's in the pipeline?
We're both actually originally editors, so most of my day job is editing. At the moment I'm editing a feature documentary which takes up most of my time, and which actually Ville shot. So in that sense we are collaborating in that film as well.
But maybe we are looking for something similar to this project, because this was really like this spur of the moment kind of project. We have these many years, like we have these documentaries that has been taken like 4 years of our lives, so that this film was only like from the day we started shooting it to the day we show it to in a film festival, it was like 8 months. So
yeah. It's satisfying being able maybe to do things quicker. Yeah,
definitely.
Well, you can tell it's the work of maestro of editing, because clearly it's I get a great example of what you can do with the editing and how you can tell the story through editing. So congratulations to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mattis, are you working on anything at the moment?
Yes, I'm actually shooting a new short film this weekend. So also with almost nothing in budget. So it's all about favors and getting the most out of great people. And yeah.
Good luck with that. With no pun regarding the title of your film. I think we've lost Lisa along the way, unfortunately, so I'm sorry about that. But I wanted to thank you all for participating in the Q&A, and of course thanking everyone who's watching us. I hope having this Q&A online will allow more people to discover you and your work. Of course, there's a lot more to see, more short film packages and also feature documentaries, more Q&A sessions. Don't forget to check it out, and don't forget to vote for your favorite film for the Audience Award. Thank you a lot. Thanks. Bye, everyone.